So this is going to be the last video about my Cane Corso puppy Mabel, who did die last week at just 4 months old from a heart condition called PDA. Now, as you might be able to see from the title of this video, I am going to show you some of the footage of Mabel in her final hours where she was unfortunately going through the heart failure. If you saw my last video, I was debating whether to show that footage at all or not, but I have made the decision and I am going to show that footage because I think it's important that dog owners or future potential dog owners are aware of some of the warning signs that you need to look for certain things that are heart and lung and respiratory issues that require emergency veterinary care. Now, don't worry, that footage isn't graphic or gory in any way. Hello. Good boy. Don't worry, that footage, like I say, it's not graphic, it's not gory in any way. It might be a little bit upsetting for people to watch, and I'm going to explain the footage in a little bit more detail, and then after we discuss the footage and discuss some of the warning signs, I'm then going to transition on to the future of this channel, some announcements that I was looking forward to making with you guys before last week, before what happened with Mabel, the future of this channel, the future of FLEA, my company, the future of my other channel, the Canine Show, and how we're going to move forward. So like I say, as much as this has been an awful week and an extremely upsetting, horrible thing to happen, I want this to be the last video kind of about her death, and I do want to move forward to what is my goal of helping educate people about the right breeds for them, then how to become good canine leaders that raise good, perfect canine companions, so that we can reduce the amount of dogs ending up in shelters and the amount of dogs that are unfortunately put down, because that is my mission and my goal and the reason I started these channels in the first place. Now, before we dive into that footage, I did want to very quickly thank you again for all the amazing, beautiful messages that you've all sent me, all the kind emails, comments, the DMs. It's been so overwhelming, and like I mentioned in the last video, it's properly reinstated my faith in humanity and my faith in people, and it's made me so proud to be a part of this community that we're a part of. It's been, like I say, a horrible week and extremely overwhelming. Anything when you share something as emotional as that on the internet with people is always an overwhelming experience, but for the amount of lovely messages, it's been in the thousands, has been, both me and Rachel, my wife, have been it's been amazing. So again, thank you so much. Now, in the last video, I did mention about the possibility of us getting a new puppy and a new dog in the future. That is something I'm going to discuss towards the end of this video. But at the time, I mentioned how that puppies are expensive and it would take us some time to save up for another puppy. Now, I didn't realize that that then led to an overwhelming amount of comments and emails of people wanting to send beautiful, generous offers and donations towards that. And again, that was by no means what I was hinting towards or asking for. I was just being honest, because I'm always honest with you guys, but that was insane to see that kind of level of generosity and support that you guys wanted to share. So again, thank you so much. Now, I did very respectfully decline all those offers of donations or people wanting to send money or to contribute towards it. Again, we are so appreciative of that support and that level of generosity, but it's something I could never do. I can never accept donations like that off people. But again, I wanted to say thank you to everybody that made that offer. It was insane and again, extremely overwhelming. However, like I also said in that last video, the reason I had this footage of Mabel having the heart failure is because I was filming a video in which I was launching my new bootcamp course, the new course that I'm so proud of, and I was so excited to share with you guys, because it's kind of all of my experience and skill set and knowledge wrapped up into a course, into something that I utilize every day with the people that I help with bad behavior or adopting dogs. It's my go-to strategy to help you become better canine leaders that can then raise dogs that know to look for youth to direction and what it is that you expect of them, and it solves 99% of problems before any severe proper behavioral intervention is required. It's something I'm so proud of, and like I say, I was launching the course via video and I was about to demonstrate some of the bits that we do in the course, and at that point is when I noticed, I'm something's not quite right with Mabel, and that's why I had the footage. Now, that course, like I say, it was launched last week. I've not really mentioned it, I've not promoted it or plugged it or anything because of what happened last week, and obviously it was so emotional and raw, but it is something that I am extremely proud of, and I do think could help so many people. So if you did want to invest in yourself as a canine leader and invest in your dogs as canine companions, that could be something that I think would be an incredible investment. It's a very small investment and would save thousands on having to get local behaviourists to fix problems that simply just require better structure and organisation in your relationships with your dog, and that is exactly what that course is for. And then it does support me and my family and the work that we do here on the Canine Show and on this channel. So that link is in the description box below if you did want to support us somehow. But like I say, I'm proud of that course, and I'm proud to promote that course because I do think it's something that's extremely useful, and it's not simply charity or donations. But however, I want to make it very clear how appreciative we were of all those lovely offers for donations. Again, so proud to be a part of this amazing community that we have here. So let's move on to the upsetting part of this video and the part that we're kind of here for. I'm not going to kind of discuss what happened in detail. That was on the last video about the illness that she had and the heart issue that she had. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk through some of the warning signs. I'm going to put up some of this footage that I had of Mabel. And again, before I show you this, I want you to understand that I would never ever have dreamed of filming her if I knew what was happening. At the time, if you didn't know, I've talked about it over on my other channel, the Canine Show, loads of times, but I rescued and rehabilitated a Siberian Husky that was about to be put down, that now lives with my parents. She did so well, and my parents fell in love with her while I was working with her, that she ended up living here. Thing with her is she's got a really sensitive tummy, so if she eats something she shouldn't, she's very often sick. And when she's sick, she has that thing, you guys with dogs have probably seen this, when dogs are sick they tend to kind of stick their neck out and they do this thing where the tummy kind of comes in and in and in, and they stick their head out, and then eventually they're sick, and then often they feel much better. And at the time I thought that is what was happening with Mabel. I was, oh bless her, she's got a bit of a poorly tummy, she'll just need to be sick and then she'll feel better. And like I say, I was filming a video and I was introducing the boot camp course and how proud of it I was and how it could help you guys that are struggling from all these different areas. And at the time, and that's when I noticed, I was like, her tummy looks a bit funny and her head's doing something, and yeah, she must be a bit poorly. Now when I finished filming that like 10-15 minute segment of the video that I was making, I then went and Googled, because I was like, she's not been sick yet, I'll Google it. And then I Googled it, saw some of the warning signs, and then we were at the vet within 15 minutes, half an hour, and then that started the chain of reaction that we discussed in the last video that did unfortunately lead to her passing away. So obviously I would never have filmed it. If I'd have known there and then we'd have got to the vets even sooner, that wouldn't have changed the outcome. Was the first thing I asked the vet, because I did feel guilty about it. But so like I say, I'm going to show you some of the footage on screen now, and the warning signs that we noticed were the rapid shallow breathing. That is a very big warning sign. At the time, like I say, at first I thought it was just her tummy contracting a little bit and spasming, but actually you can tell that when you looked at it closer, it was her rib cage and more her lungs were contracting, and she had very shallow breathing and she was struggling to breathe properly. That was kind of one big warning sign that you need to look out for with your dogs. Obviously that can often be many things. Have they just been out playing? Are they excited? Are they anxious or fearful? Is the weather hot? Obviously I'm very versed in being able to recognize anxiety or fear type behaviors in dogs. I knew it wasn't that. The weather is miserable and cold here in the UK, so it had nothing to do with heat. She wasn't excited and we hadn't done any exercise, we were just about to start. So that kind of was the first, okay, this isn't quite right. The second warning sign is how her neck was protracting out so far, and she was really sticking it out and making it low and struggling to kind of hold herself like she normally did. So again, that was another warning sign, and it was right for that to be a warning sign, as that is often a sign of the dog struggling to get oxygen around their body, and them doing that often helps be able just to get some oxygen around their body a little bit. So they were the kind of two major signs that made me a little bit worried. Like I say, I thought it was just because she needed to be sick. Unfortunately it wasn't. It was because of the heart issue and the heart failure she was having at the time, was struggling to get the oxygen around her body. So then when I googled those two symptoms and realized that this is probably something I need to be worried about, one of the very common things that they said was to check the gums. Now again, I'm a canine behaviorist, I'm not a vet. These aren't necessarily things that you should know, but I do think it's really helpful to know, and it's something that I'm glad that I know about moving forward with my life and with the dogs that I work with, and eventually the dogs that, like Sully here, that I own, and the dogs that hopefully I'm going to own in the future. But checking their gums is kind of the go-to thing. Gums should be bright red, bubblegum pink, really vivid looking colours, and that's showing that there's lots of oxygen getting around their systems. If their gums are grey, pale, blue, that's a big warning sign. So again, I'd googled this. I opened Mabel's teeth, opened her jaws to look at her gums, opened her cheek, sorry, not her jaws, and they were grey, like no red, no pink whatsoever. So then that was like, okay, big worry. And like I say, I was then at the vets within 15 minutes. So there, like I say, I'm sorry if that footage was a little bit upsetting. Now, obviously, for me, looking back on that footage, it is extremely upsetting knowing what it is that she was dealing with at the time. But I do think it's important that you see it and you understand that they're often warning signs that you guys need to look out for. Now, like I say, I absolutely loved Mabel to pieces. Even only the couple of months that she'd been with me, she was a beautiful dog. Her training was coming on amazingly. She had the sweetest, kindest temperament, and obviously from all the messages we've received, so many of you guys were very attached to her. She won't ever be forgotten. She was my little baby, and you saw how devastated I was. But I don't want to keep making videos about her. Like I say, I've got an overall mission. It's the reason I do what I do, and I'm here on YouTube, and I want to move towards that vision now. So like I say, I want this to kind of, I don't want to forget about her. Like I say, I want to keep this channel going in her memory and in her name, and carry on doing what we set out to do with her, and that's to help people become better leaders that raise better companions. So like I say, I want to discuss where we're moving forward now, but I don't want you to think that it's cold by myself at any point. I think it's just simply part of the grieving process that for me especially, I need to be able to move forward and not dwell on it, and I think it will help me with moving forward to kind of have a goal and get back to work. And that's what I want to discuss now in this video, is where we're going, some of the things I was excited to share with you, where Mabel kind of did fit in with some of those plans, and how those plans are going to change now with her passing last week, sorry, not last year. So the first one is, am I going to be getting a new dog? And yes, we are. Like I said in the last video, that is going to take a while. The idea of me having another puppy for what is an absolute no-go. I predict maybe towards the end of this year, start of next year, maybe springtime next year. I've got my mate Sully here, who is my perfect canine companion. So it'll be nice to really kind of just spend this summer doing the stuff he loves. We can go a lot more mountain biking and climbing mountains and stuff again. And just kind of really spend some time with him and focus on him while we get ready for another puppy sometime in the future, though, that we will do. Whether it'll be a Cane Corso, I'm not sure. One of the big reasons I didn't get a bull mastiff again, because that was my last guarding breed, was because I felt terrible about the idea of replacing my bull mastiff. That might be the case again with another Cane Corso, that I don't want to replace Mabel. There is other breeds. I'd love an English mastiff at some point. I'd love a Doberman at some point. So it'd be between those three breeds probably as to what dog we would get next towards the end of this year, start of next year. Now, in the meantime, we're going to carry on making exactly the same kind of videos that we have been making here on Will and Mabel. I've had so many beautiful emails from people in England, in Italy, in Croatia, all over America. There is a lot of Cane Corso puppies out there that I'm so excited to work with owners that are excited about me coming along and filming so that we can share it with you guys. So if anything, you're probably going to learn more, because rather than just simply following my journey with one puppy, you'll be able to follow my journey with lots of different puppies, with different lifestyles, with different temperaments, with different abilities and behaviours, and how I overcome all of those different challenges, so that you can really see how it works with different energy levels and temperaments and characters and obedience and behaviours. And that's going to start as soon as, I think the first one is next weekend. I've got something lined up with some guys that have got Cane Corso puppies, so I'm so so excited to be working with lots of different Cane Corso puppies now, and I'll be making videos of how I do this, how I implement my perfect puppy plan, how I implement my boot camp protocol, and how I implement individualized bespoke behavior interventions and behavior modification programs. So if you are new here, make sure you subscribe, because there's going to be so much educational, good and fun, entertaining content. I don't just want this to be lectures, I want it to be fun and entertaining and engaging, and show the beautiful sides of these dogs that often get a bad reputation, and show that how that isn't the case. If you follow these kind of protocols, you can have beautiful family guardians that have incredible obedience and behavior, yet are capable of watching and looking out for your family, which is the reason that we love these Mastiff and Guardian breeds so much. The Canine Show channel is going to carry on, so the Canine Show is going to kind of be dedicated around choosing the right breed for your lifestyle. Will and Mabel here is going to continue to be how to train that breed to be perfect canine companions. I was also so excited to announce that we are relaunching FLEA canine products. If you are new here or didn't follow my journey over on the Canine Show, I did launch a company called FLEA Canine Products last year. The launch was brilliant, amazingly successful, and we had we designed and created and tested what I think is the best lead and collar combination for large Guardian breeds in the planet. Really high-end, high-quality products that the people that ordered them have had fantastic results with. The problem is, so many of you guys live in America, so we had to kind of pause that business while we just reworked out our distribution over to America, which we have fixed. We did also have our line of FLEA Canine Wild Food, that was a grain-free food designed around the ancestral requirements of our dogs. That we're still working on our distribution over to America, so that's going to stay on hold for a little bit, but in the next couple of weeks, FLEA Canine Products is going to be relaunching. Alongside the FLEA Canine Products, it's going to be more, we're going to change the business to be kind of for man and beast, so we're going to have all the products for the amazing dogs, but for the men and women in those dogs' lives, we've got some really fun products, from clothing, from the kind of belts that I like to use that you can connect to your dog to be hands-free for training, and then just some really fun collaborations with hopefully some coffee companies we're going to work with, and just have some very limited edition, one-time only runs from leathersmiths and custom knife makers and coffee companies. That's all going to be kind of around this amazing community and FLEA brand that we've got. Alongside that, my wife is leaving her job. She's a marketing executive for a beauty company at the minute, but she's coming on board with me. It's something I was really excited about to announce, and she's going to take over kind of the business operations and marketing for the FLEA Canine business and for the online courses. We've got new courses planned, so at the minute we've got the Canine Boot Camp, we've got the Perfect Puppy course, and we're also going to be launching courses around how to become a dog trainer, how to become a canine behaviorist, and how to become a dog groomer. Those things are all in the pipelines, and we've got an amazing office space that we're moving into soon. I was so excited to share that, because we've been trying to find the perfect space that allows us to take the dogs in as well, and that was something we were working on, so that Mabel and Sully could come to work with me and my wife, working from the office on all these different projects that we've got going. There's some other things in the pipeline that are still a little bit hush-hush, but are crazy excited news. But it's all revolves around my dream of helping people become the best possible canine leaders they can, that raise beautiful canine companions that are well behaved, happy, content, relaxed and under control at all times, which means those dogs then won't end up in shelters, which means they won't get put down. And that is the overarching theme and drive for everything that we do. I've discussed in videos over on the Canine Show that my kind of big goals are around being able to set up rescue and rehabilitation centres for these Mastiffs and Guardian breeds. Obviously to do that requires money, so a lot of the business goals are around kind of non-profit organisations that we can create the world's best products that I'm extremely proud to be associated with and to be creating, that can help us drive this goal to get to these big dreams that I've got years down the line. And again, I'm extremely proud of the community I've got here. I'm so thankful that you guys are all a part of it, and I can't wait for you to come along for the journey. So before I sign off for this video, where you guys can reach me and follow me as we move forward towards that dream, and I want us to do it it as a team, as this community. It's not just about me making videos. There's bigger dreams and visions that I want you all to be a part of as we move forward, and I'm so proud to be doing that with you guys. Is amazing. So obviously subscribe here on the Will and Mabel channel. I've got the Canine show, which is my main bigger channel. If you are only subscribed here, make sure you go over and subscribe there. There's going to be loads more videos ramping up across both channels now. Come and follow us over on Instagram. That's still Will and Mabel, and me and my wife have kind of got some plans around what we're going to do with that, and documenting other things, and little short sharp training tips can go over on Instagram, with the bigger, more detailed videos being here. So make sure you're following us across all of those platforms. And then when the Fenrir Canine Products website comes back up, when we do these limited edition runs of the cool clothing and the other plans that we've got, we'll be announcing those across those different platforms and channels. Yeah, you can see I'm getting emotional again just because of how excited I am, and this is why I think I'm so gutted that Mabel can't be a part of driving this dream forward. But it is what it is, and I still want to drive forward towards that dream. So again, thank you so much for supporting us. Check out the Perfect Bootcamp course if you did want to support us in the meantime. It will be an amazing investment for you and your dogs. I hope you stick around for this journey, and that this isn't the end of us. Like I said, we've got lots more planned. I'm honoured that you're here and a part of it, and I'll see you soon on the next video.